Hello, hello, hello. Dr. Alan Harper here, your Secure Vibe coder. And we are back for another live Secure Vibe coding session. We are building this app we call User Vibes OS.ai. It's live right now. You can check it out. The purpose of this app is to be an AI enhanced one stop shop for developers to collect vibes from their users throughout the user journey lifecycle. So, what does that mean? No matter how the user interacts with your website, whether they're landing on your landing page or filling out a survey or a wait list or email list, we aim to help developers catch those signals that the users are throwing off. We call those vibes. We even want to catch if the attacker or if the user is trying to attack us, trying to manipulate our site or hack us, then we want to catch that as well. We want to make all that easy for a developer. We've been focusing on our MVP, which is basically around these three features. We have the feedback module working really well. We've been polishing that. And the idea is we take feature requests and bug reports from the user, and we make that really easy to get that back to the developer. Okay, so hello, Yami. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you dropping me a comment here. All right. Anyone else who's joined us, please drop me a comment. Let me know that you're here. You can learn more about me in that QR code above my head. And there you'll learn about my free mentoring group, where I have about 8,000 people, just short of that are working toward AI and cyber. And I'm in there providing value each day. Inside of there, you'll also find out about my Secure Vibe Coding Masterclass, where you can get more access to me and you can learn. In that masterclass, I have 10 modules that cover all of these topics in detail. All right. So we have built this thing on what we call the Secure Vibe Coding OS. Okay. And this is the most secure Next.js starter kit that you're going to find out on the internet. And this thing, basically right out of the box, if you install it, it'll take you about 20 minutes. And you get all of these features built in right out of the box. So you'll be able to take credit card payments. You'll be able to authenticate your user. And what I added here is the security batteries, I like to say. So I installed the security batteries inside of this Secure Vibe Coding OS. Hey, 3Ds, good to see you back. And so right out the bat, you have a very secure baseline. All right. Then on top of that, what we do is we do secure prompting, and we invoke these security skills that I included in the skills folder here underneath the Claude folder. There's a number of security skills that come. These are the security batteries that I'm talking about. You also get a number of security agents that will invoke security scans for you as well. And then we've added a couple workflows up in GitHub. So when you push code and try to merge it in through a pull request, then we get another opportunity to run a security scan up in the cloud. And GitHub will run it for us with the Claude agent there. Now we use Claude Code. We're a fan of Claude Code. I believe it's the best tool. It's the weapon of choice. And so we use that, and we're proud of that. And we run that inside of Anti-Gravity. And Anti-Gravity has been running for me for more than a month, and then it crashed last night for the first time. So I hope they're not starting to fall apart on me. I might have to go find somebody else if they do. But that's usually why I end up moving from an IDE. All right, now last night the way we left this is we were working on a bunch of security issues. We pushed them up to GitHub, and we didn't have time to see the results. But I've since seen the results, and they are very good, folks. Okay, so we have really good security layers now. We have very strong security analysis. Everything is good. It's pointing out that we're missing some test coverage, and that's okay. But everything, we've got a glowing report here. Okay, and it recommended that we go ahead and merge. Okay, so let's go ahead and merge this pull request. And what we can do is confirm the merge here. and let's see how it goes. Now, I noticed while I was looking at our Vercel logs right before this call that the last time, yesterday, it tried to build and it failed. So I'm hoping that we actually do get a good build here. We'll find out here in a moment. Otherwise, we'll just feed it back to Claude Code and we'll just keep on rolling. All right, so let's see what we got here. Deployments. That's the old one. That's the one I was looking at. Okay. All right, yeah, see, this was the error from yesterday, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and see what we got going here. All right, who else has joined us? Looks like we got a number of people. Hey, Esther, good to see you. Who else has joined us tonight? Drop me a chat and let me know hello. Again, you'll find more about me in my QR code up here and link in the description. We are all about secure vibe coding here. Now, you'll find out that really quick that if you go listen to others, they'll talk a lot about vibe coding, but nobody's talking about security. And so we are different here in that way. And so if you're interested in vibe coding, but don't want to get hacked, then here's where you need to hang out. Make sure that you subscribe to me on these channels. Make sure you give me some love and give me a thumbs up. And that sends a signal to the algorithm to push it out to other people. So go ahead and do that right now if you don't mind. And then also take a moment to copy paste that or hit the share button and share that with somebody that you know that's in this space that needs to hear this stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah, we've got an error here. Let's see what's going on. Okay. We get a failure to compile. Let's grab all of that. Okay, and feed it back to our friend Claude Code. Okay, it found the issue. Asked me if we want to fix it. Yes. Hey, Possible Scripts. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Anybody else joined us tonight? Want to say hello? We are building an app we call User Vibes OS, and the purpose of this app is to grab user vibes from the user and make that easy to collect those for developers. Some of those vibes are feature requests and and bug reports, and so we've been focusing on that. But there's a whole lot of other vibes that we want to get too. All right, we intend to be that AI enhanced one-stop shop for developers to collect these vibes from users throughout the user journey lifecycle. Again, we've pretty much checked off these features. We started in the middle and we're going to work our way around this way, and we want to be that one-stop shop. There are companies out there who do like feedback fairly well, but we already have something better than them. And then no one is putting it all together though in catching all of these vibes from the users, and that's going to be us. All right, you guys are going to be a big part of that. I'm going to set up an affiliate program here soon so you guys can join in the fun and make some money along with me. Yep, so Claude found the error, and I think and asked if you wanted it fixed. Yes. Yep. Hey, good. Good on you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I get talking and forget that Claude Code needs something from me. Typically, I make sure that I run this before I push it up to GitHub, and somehow I got away from that yesterday. And so we've got these TypeScript errors, which are not very common for us because typically we catch those as we go. It looks like there's some more here. Okay, that's good. Let's fix them before we push it back up and let GitHub find them. Or actually, that'd be technically Vercel. Hey, Ricardo asked a good question. He said, how can I learn this from scratch? You got two choices, or at least two. You can get out here on YouTube and you can watch all these free videos I'm putting out. There's a lot of them. We've got about 40 hours of it right now, but you can binge watch all that and you can learn all of this. If you want to speed it up, go ahead and jump in my free mentoring group up here, QR code, and also link in the description. And inside of there, you'll find a lot of valuable resources and even a 30-day challenge that I've put together for you for free. Okay, so you can figure that out and learn that way. And then you'll also see inside of there what's called a Secure Vibe Coding Masterclass. Okay, and that's a class that I put together. It has 10 modules in it, very affordable. You can get access to that inside the classroom, inside of my free mentoring. And you also see options with that you get more access to me. And I meet with my mentoring groups weekly and help them build their own projects. So if that's something that you're interested in, me coming alongside you and helping you build your apps, then you can check that out inside of my free mentoring up in the classroom. Yeah, the stack that I'm using is Vercel. I'm using Claude. I'm using Anti-Gravity, which is a fork of Visual Studio or Visual Code. That's my daily driver right now is Anti-Gravity, but that's just the IDE. I'm not using all the functionality of it because I prefer Claude Code. Okay. Possible Script says he's working on a digital signage SaaS. That's cool. Provides background music to hundreds of thousands of stores around the world. That's cool. Awesome. Okay, we got some more stuff here. It's asking us. Yes, go ahead and make these edits. Come on, man. Time is wasting. Okay, all the TypeScript errors are fixed. Let's go ahead and get this thing up to run it. Okay, we're going to create a new PR for that. Yes. Okay, and it looks like our Dependabot also found a vulnerability. So we're going to want to check that out. Okay, right here. It looks like we run this, we also, as an additional layer of security, we run what's called Dependabot. And up inside of your repo, you can enable that in the settings. Okay, it's under the security settings. But it looks like right here that there's this tool called ESBuild, and it needs bumped because there's a security vulnerability just out in that. Okay, so here's the details of it and all of that. And this is new because that wasn't showing up before. And so what it's asking us to do is to upgrade the affected version of ESBuild from 2.4.4 up to 2.5.0. Now what we want to pay attention here is to see, okay, often what we're looking for is if this is a breaking fix. And it doesn't look like there's any warning of that, so we're not exactly sure. We're going to have to try that and run it and see if it breaks anything. Okay, so ESBuild. Okay, so let's see here. I've never clicked that before. Let's see what we got. It's verified. Okay. Okay, we'll submerge that into main. It looks like Dependabot already made the recommendation to fix that for us. I'd never done that before. But what we can see here is in the package.json file, it made the change for us. And all we had to do is click a couple buttons on the back end. That was cool. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've never done that before, so that was interesting. Okay. Now, let's see how our other pull request is doing here. We have a link to it back here. That's interesting. It's going back to this old pull request number 6 here. It looks like it spliced those changes into that one. I don't know if I like that. Hold on a second. We were up to 7. There are other changes besides after 6. So let's get out of that. Looks like you added those changes into pull request 6. We were already up to 7. I want you to do a clean patch branch and go ahead and make a new pull request. That would be 8. Yeah, the reason why I don't want to push that back into 6 is because we made some changes after 6. I don't want to revert back to those security issues. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, all right, it's going back into main. It's going to do a poll to make sure main's up to date. Okay, now it's checking out this fix for the TypeScript type issues. Okay, that's more like it. I'm going to stop it. I don't like what it's doing. Why are you recreating these updates? We've already fixed these. I want you to just merge that into the patch branch or yeah, just use those files that we've already updated. I don't like the fact that you're recreating the wheel here. I'm afraid we'll miss something. Okay. We'll run the test before we create that PR. Before we create this PR, I want you to run the TSC check again. Okay. All right. So that's good. Okay. So the TypeScript error passed, or the check passed with no errors. Now we'll go ahead and create the PR. Third time's the charm here. Okay. There it is. Let's bring that down. Let me see here. Where's my... Okay. Just want to make sure these tests actually complete here. Looks like they're going strong. They probably would have failed by now. We run two reviews. We run a code review. That's this Claude review. That's just basically best practices, but it also checks for some security things. And then we run another one that is specifically a security review. Okay. And it's a combination of those two that we're relying on. We also told those to try to check for false positives, but that's not, 100%. So what we got into the other day was a loop where we got some issues back, but then after further investigation, it turns out they were false positives. Okay. All right, here we go. The final verdict, it was approved. Yeah, but I still don't see the results come back. Okay, so here's some specific code review. So it looks like it's bringing some of the results back as it goes. Okay. No security vulnerabilities were introduced by this PR. That's good. That's really good, finally. Okay. Okay, so the code review finished, and now it's still running some of the security review stuff. I expect that to come back fine too. It's a good idea to let these run. This is called CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, CI/CD. This is a whole skill in and of itself. We call it DevOps. And there are a lot of people who are paid a lot of good money to do this DevOps. Okay. And so here we go. Yep. it's approved, or it recommends that we go ahead and approve it. No security vulnerabilities were detected. Okay. Yep. It's all good to go. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and merge that in. We hit confirm the merge. We could put another node in there if we wanted to. Okay, now what should happen is that should go off and build. We should get a clean build up here. Okay, it's been failing before, but I expect it to pass this time. Now, in summary for this project, we've been at this for about 45 hours now, something like that, a little over a week and a day or so. And we have been crushing it. We have about 4 months worth of output in that 1 week of effort. Now, I've been taking it about an hour a day, and I took a week off for Christmas and so forth. So, I'm just doing this to demonstrate to you what's possible as a vibe coder, as a secure vibe coder, right? You can part-time build something out here and change your life, folks. Okay. So you don't have to quit your day job yet. In fact, I wouldn't recommend that you do that until you get some income coming in. All right. I already have a bunch of income coming in because of these projects. In fact, I'm at the point where I need to turn work away. And so what I'm trying to do is train you guys up so that I don't have to turn that away. I'll just give it over to you guys, and maybe we'll split it up in some way. All right. So that's the motivation for you guys to learn this stuff and start helping me out. Okay. Hey, Esther. True. I saw this as well. Frolicking. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I'll tell you, Yami's been paying attention to the text in the Claude code. Man, let me get that Claude code back up here. Oh, okay. We got our completed build here. All right, so what that means now is our app is working, uservibesOS.ai. We've got a clean build up there. We can go ahead and log in. Encourage you guys to log in and create an account if you haven't yet. It's free for the moment. Get in while you can. I'm going to change that soon. Okay. Not a lot going on in this dashboard because we don't have many people interacting with it. I don't have anybody messing with my site that I have set up in here. So I don't have any security events, but it's working. Now, I'll show you what it looks like locally. So you can actually see what it looks like with data in it. Okay. So for example, here's the security dashboard that you see right when you log in. You can see all the security events. This is just basically testing that we were doing, and actually some validation that was happening. Let's see. What was this? We had to look into this. This was earlier tonight. Okay. All right. And so the validation was failing before, but let's go ahead and see. We also have this test site set up here on 3002. Could have been just that the token expired. Okay, so that's working. All right, so this is what our app looks like from a user's perspective. They kind of install this widget and they get these feature requests. They can also install bug reports, and we can give them a view of the roadmap, like what we're working on. This is just a read-only view, so they can see their actual ticket when it gets picked up, like their feature request or their bug report, and they can see these items and they can see how we're working on them. And then ultimately they get a change log once we get enough of this stuff. Okay. So that's all working good. And lately what we did was we added this ability to use AI to pull the information out of the user. Now I'm going to tweak that because I don't quite like how chatty it is right now. Like, it's asking a little too many questions. It gets a little annoying. But the point is, what it'll do is it's trying to get the reason why out of the user. And this is hugely valuable to the developer. See, imagine if somebody says, hey, I need an export button. I need to be able to export this data on the dashboard. Okay, well, we could go off and we could give them an export for CSV. But wouldn't you want to know, if you're a developer, why they want to export that? Maybe there's a particular report that they're interested in. Maybe it's a report that's useful for their boss or something. right? What if we gave them the report? Then they would no longer need to export it in CSV and then manually recreate the report, you see? So if we could just ask them a few questions like, hey, that's a great feature request. Could you tell us a little bit more about why you need that and what your workaround is right now? And just by having that conversation with the user, we're meeting the user where they're at. And that's hugely valuable, guys. Excuse me. So that's a pro tip for you. If you're going to use AI, use it to meet the user where they're at and then pull that information out of them so you get a much better result. You get to the why, the reason why. Okay, that is hugely valuable, and that's going to be so much better than the competitors out there that we're going to take all of their customers from. Okay. All right, so all that stuff's working, guys. All right, now, what I want to do, though, is there's a couple things that we need to fix here, okay? One of them is that when we do this right here, it's going to come up, and the modal is captured within this frame. You see that right there? And that's not good. So that means what I want it to do is I want the modal, which is down here in the middle of the page, I want that to break out of this frame, this iframe, and I want it to be page wide, okay? Now, we were working on that before we got into these fixing these vulnerabilities the other day, and I happened to have created a document, or I had it create a document for me. Hold on one second. Let me clean this up. I want to make sure. Okay, let's see here. What's going on? Why do we have... Shouldn't have all of this stuff sitting out here. It's because... Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I think I might have to restart something here. Let's see, exit that. Let's see, node. What's this one? 3001 is what we want. It's our, okay, that's our MPX convex dev. Okay, this one is nothing. And then we've got Cloud Code. All right, let me open up anti-gravity again. Okay, that didn't fix it. Why is why is my Git tree within my IDE here showing changes that are within the packages folder? And we should not be tracking our packages folder. So what changed in my git ignore that is allowing that to happen? Yeah, that's what's going on. Somehow the packages folder is being tracked now in GitHub, and that's crazy. Like, we don't want to do that. So I think it's going to be as simple as fixing our git ignore. That's probably all we're going to need to do. Now, git ignore is a file that tells it to ignore certain folders, right? And what I would like to know is when that changed, because I don't think I changed it. Okay. It's saying the node modules folder. Let me give that a screenshot. you could see that it's not just the node modules directory, it's the whole packages directory. I'm not sure why we even have a packages directory. It should all be within the node modules. So investigate that. Okay, so here goes. Potentially part of your repo. They contain the widget, the web component. Okay, they're publishable npm packages. Okay, the real problem, the packages themselves should be tracked in Git, but either their node modules directory should not be tracked, but their node module. Okay, your current git ignore has this. The leading / makes it only ignore the root level, not the ones inside. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, well, that cleaned it up. Notice how all those files disappeared. Okay. Now, recently we created a document. I had you create a document to document the plan that would allow us to fix the modal that is currently contained within the iframe. And what would happen is whenever they invoke the modal, the code would escape the iframe for us and then rejoin it after the modal was closed. Look for that plan. Okay, now what we need to do is get our npms running again. Okay, there's one. npx convex dev. And then what we'll do is we'll go inside the test site and we'll npm run dev in here, and that should come up to 3002, which it does. Okay, so all that should be working now. Okay, I think there's the file right there. Yep. Okay, let me try another trick. I'm gonna open up Claude and go back into try to resume a previous conversation from a couple days ago. Okay, here we're getting close. Okay, here's the plan right here. Let's go help this other one out. See if it found it. Did you see that, Yami? It's giving names, interesting names now. Let's see, where was it? Splendid Imaging Brooks. No, Imagining Brooks. So Splendid Imagining Brooks. So what it does is when it names its plans in this plans folder, it comes up with these random names. And sometimes they're very interesting. Sometimes they're funny. Yeah, hey, I see that comment, Possible Scripts. Yeah, that's probably how that happened. But it turns out that the React widget directory is the widget that actually our developers can actually install using npm. And so apparently, as part of that process, it must have created those folders. But what confused me about it, and I'm still a little confused, is like that wasn't nothing new. Like I was debugging the other day, and maybe that's when it happened. But anyway, I think we're good now. Okay, there it is. The plan document, blah, blah, blah. The key concept, straightforward, about 20 lines of code. Okay, yes. Implement that. Okay, now, if this plan works, and by the way, if it doesn't, we'll just revert, okay? Because we've got pretty clean Git history over here. What should happen now is this modal should escape this iframe. And then whenever we close the modal, it should give control back to the iframe. Okay. So this is a pretty advanced topic. Like I doubt you guys would get into this. In fact, a lot of what I do here, I doubt you'll get into because what I want to do is show you like a complex topic that like we can vibe code anything. And you don't have to be afraid. But I doubt very much that most of you and your apps are going to run into issues like this because I'm trying to give a tool to developers and therefore I'm jumping through some hoops that you probably won't have to do if you're giving a tool to users. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, yes. Yeah, look right there. It's doing a build. Whoa, hold on a second. Do not build. I will run npm run build whenever that's necessary. Do not do that unless you've asked me first. Yeah, so there's the issue right there. It must have been the other day when I was trying to debug this modal. I ended up creating that folder for that build. Okay. Okay, now I understand what you're doing. Go ahead and run that build. I get nervous when Claude Code runs builds because I'm in a dev environment, and if you're not careful, what I've run into before is it will run a build and that will corrupt your dev environment, and it breaks it like in some weird ways that make it hard for you to figure out it's broken until like, you know, a half hour later after you're messing with it. So, because what it does is it updates some cache files and stuff that are in your nodes file. And I prefer to run builds myself, but I know what it's doing here. It's running this widget, so I don't mind it doing that. Okay, so now here we go. Now the modal will properly escape the iframe constraints and cover the entire viewport when opened. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, I wonder if I have to like update anything over here on the I'll go ahead and, for good measure, I'll just refresh the page, but I wouldn't be surprised if I have to like pull down and install a new widget. But let's see. Yep, it didn't work, but that doesn't surprise me. Okay, hold on a second. Like, I think it's probably going to have to like update that npm or that React component. Okay, there was no change there, but should we update something in our test site where that's where I'm viewing? Should we update the React component or widget in some way or pull it back down? There should be something that we have to do there, I would imagine, right? I give it a screenshot of what I'm seeing so he can see that that didn't work. Okay, you're absolutely right. They get nuked they've been flamed for doing this. If I had $1 every time it said I was absolutely right, I'd be, you know, multimillionaire. The build copied the widget to this, but your test site is probably running from localhost, and we need to pick up the new changes. Okay, so now it's going and taking a look at the test site to see how it's doing it. Okay, so look here, Next.js has a build cache, which might be holding the old version. So do a hard refresh, basically, is what they're saying to do. You see, this is where, again, these build caches can get you tripped up. But let's try it. Let's do a hard reset. And the hack to do that is get your bottom panel up here. I just right-clicked and said inspect. and get your bottom console up, and then just right click on the reload page here, and you can do empty cache and hard reload. That should reload all the objects. Okay. And nope, same thing. Now, for good measure, I'll go ahead and do what it said, which is restart the test site server. But I don't think that's going to do it. Okay. Empty cache and hard reload. Same thing. So I'm going to take a screenshot of it and tell it that I did all of that, but no joy. Okay, no change here. The modal is still trapped within the iframe. I need you to use, and also I did a hard reload of the cache and also restarted the dev server and the test site. I need you to use ultra thinking here and evaluate the plan. It was only supposed to be 20 lines of change, and you told me that that would work, and it doesn't. I don't want to redesign. I want you to fix this. Okay, once again, if you want to learn about me, you can check out that free mentoring in the QR code above, link it in the description. I've been in cybersecurity for 36 years, well before they called it cyber, well before most of you were born. And I've seen all aspects of cybersecurity. I'm the lead author of Gray Hat Hacking, the Ethical Hacker's Handbook, one of the most popular books in the field. It's been around for about 20 years. I've been a developer for 46 years, since I was 10 years old. I'm 56 now. And I'm here to give back. I'm here to help secure the world one app at a time. I see a huge need and a huge problem. There's all these people out here vibe coding and nobody's talking about security. And it's not super easy. It's a little bit, more difficult. And so therefore, a lot of people are avoiding it and they're getting themselves in trouble. And sites are getting hacked. There's already like social media posts of like vibe coders getting their sites hacked and stuff. I do think vibe coding is great. I think it's wonderful. I've vibe coded apps and have made a ton of money with it in the last year, and intend to into the next year. But I do it securely, and so I'm teaching other people how to do that. Okay, that's what I'm all about. Okay. Once again, if you've joined me, drop a hello in and tell me what's going on. So so here we go, recursive coding. Why are you vibe coding changes like that iframe escape? Yeah, it only took 20 lines of code and it took, yeah. It's a fair question. Okay, recursive coding. Although I'm a coder and I'm a React coder and I could probably go figure that out. Most of the people watching me are not, they're vibe coders. All right. So we deal with that limitation. Sometimes Claude Code doesn't get it right, and so we just iterate through that. And I'm demonstrating that you don't have to know how to code to do this stuff. That's why we're vibe coders. Okay. And again, there are people out there that have the skills and would just jump in and fix it themselves. Okay, but I'm not trying to teach you guys how to be coders. Okay, I'm trying to teach you how to be secure vibe coders. I appreciate the question, though. It was a good one. It's fair. Okay, here we go. And by the way, then now we get into some of the subtleties of this. Look at this. The issue was that I still don't know if it's fixed, but I'm going to read you what it says here, or at least skim it. The issue was that the Shadow DOM CSS doesn't apply to elements outside of it. When the iframe moved to the document body, it lost the full screen class. Okay, so the fix is now apply the full screen styles as inline CSS directly to the iframe. Okay, all right, well, let's see. Okay, it says to go ahead and restart the test site server. Okay, which I just did. Nope, no joy. Hard refresh just for good measure. Yeah. So see, I don't think those 20 lines of code are even the problem. I think there's something deeper going on here. It has to do with the DOM, which is the document object model of the HTML page. It's a pretty technical topic. But what's interesting to me is that within the this only happens in the deployed widget. On the back end, let me show you something. On the back end, in our console, which I haven't been able to show off tonight, we have a feedback module here. This is where developers can come in and they can create a project for each of their websites. And inside of those projects, we have like a feedback stream that comes in from the users. Like these are our feature requests. These are our bug reports. And notice that we have our AI analysis in here. Okay. And we even get a AI conversation log. And then we also get an AI implementation handoff prompt that we can take this and copy paste it to our AI tool of choice, like Claude Code, and tell it to implement that feature request. Okay, so all that's working. We also have a demo in here where we can see the widget. And check this out. From within here, it goes full screen. See how that full screen kind of went there across the whole page? And it wasn't constrained to the iframe itself, which is just from here to here. Okay, so that worked. And so I know it's possible in some way to do this, but this is kind of a contrived scenario here because this is a demo, and it's tripping up whenever we actually try to deploy it through the widget on another site. But let's see here. All right, still no joy there. No change. I did a hard reload. I also restarted the dev server. It's still constrained to the iframe. What I don't understand, and I need you to explain to me, is why this works fine within our demo page on the backend dashboard, where we have a widget that is installed there, and maybe it's the way we're calling that widget, or maybe the way we're wrapping it or not wrapping it. I want you to compare how the demo page works, because the modal does use the ability to capture the whole page view, but it will not whenever we are using it through a deployed test site. So I want you to tell me what the difference is. Evaluate those two code sets and explain that to me. And then again, use ultra thinking here and sort this out. Okay, I invoke ultra thinking from time to time because that's basically making the model slow down and use its reasoning model, right? And then, to take often you'll get a better result that way. It burns more tokens, but so does, all this iteration is burning tokens too. Now, I went down this little rabbit hole the other day, but I don't remember the answer. It did tell me a good reason why the demo page worked and the test site doesn't, but I want to hear it again. And I wanted to think about it again. And in that, it might find a clue of how to fix this. We do need to figure this modal piece out, because this is not the first modal that we will use. The modal is kind of the overlay. Like when you overlay something over top of a web page and you use that as a form, or to show more data to the user, that's it's called a modal, and it's pretty it's a pretty good form factor. That's good UI. You definitely want to use modals. And we definitely need to figure out how to use the modal. Oh, I think I remember now. What it was telling us before, and we'll see if it does again, was there's this challenge in our widget that we want to make sure that our widget is isolated from the CSS of the actual web page that the developer is putting it in. And if we don't do that, then what could happen is our widget could get manipulated by that CSS and it could look weird. Like the colors could be off, the fonts could be off. And so it's kind of running in a little sandbox. And we need to take caution as to not expose the whole widget, but we do need to expose this modal to the whole page. And so I think that's what the challenges were, as I recall from the other day. But still, it was confident. AI is one thing; it's confident, isn't it? I'll just say a show of hands here. Has anyone ever had AI just tell it, "Hey, you know what? Hey, good point. I don't have any better ideas for you." Has that ever happened? Have you ever asked AI a question and it goes, "No, I'm out of ideas. I think that's all I got." No, it just makes up stuff with confidence. And that's where it gets frustrating because you don't really know if you're at the edge of the boundary or not. Usually I can work through it from different angles and stuff, but that does get frustrating sometimes. Yeah, Esther, you saw it was saying schlepping. Yeah, it comes up with these words. By the way, those are costing you tokens, just a few tokens. But it uses those. It thinks it's being funny. Like right now it's saying actualizing. They have a term for that. I forget what it is, but it doesn't matter. Okay, now it's checking if there's a wrapper that might be constraining it in some way. Okay, it says it found the bug with confidence. Okay, we'll see. Okay, there's apparently this feature request widget wrapper that's preventing the iframe from going full screen. Okay, but wait, the modal uses something different. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so now it's no longer confident. It's funny. Okay, it's checking the linking to make sure that all of the files are created correctly. Looks like that gave an error, so maybe that's a clue to it. Okay, looks like now it's going to, okay. The test site's no modules doesn't have the web component symlink. You need to reinstall dependencies in the test site. Okay. All right. We can do that, npm install. In fact, it's asking me if I want it to do it. I'll say, yeah, okay, do that. That's what a developer would do. They would do an npm install once they've installed that package. So apparently that got screwed up somewhere along the way. Okay, now what it's doing is deleting the .next folder, which is the cache. Okay, it cleared the cache. Now restart your test site server. But actually, let me add a visual debugging to confirm the messages are actually being received. Okay, we'll take that. It's putting some debug logs in the console so that we can report those back, and it'll actually tell us if the new code is being received. It's got to rebuild that widget again. Okay, restart your test dev server, open a browser, check the console logs. Please share what you see in the console. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I just restarted my test site 3002. Okay, and I'm gonna go back over here. And I'm gonna go into here. And what we're gonna do is, what I like to do is go ahead and clear the console. We'll refresh. In fact, we'll do better than that. We'll do a right click and hard reset. Let me clear the console again. Empty cache, hard reload. Okay, so here's all the logs. Okay, and all looks fine. Okay, let's try it. Okay, nope. Give these logs back to Claude Code. That should be a clue to it. Logs is always a good idea to share with Claude Code. Some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you use the browser use or Puppeteer or something? Because they are slow. We're sitting here another hour trying to see those logs. There's MCP for those, but it's much faster just to copy paste the thing yourself right now. That'll get better over time. So look, I got a comment here from Yami. I'm posted for everyone. Today I got, it can be very frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. It tries to be empathetic sometimes. Claude Code will do the same thing, but I've never seen it just say, hey, I'm done. Like, you're going to need to like find another way to do this. It never will quit on you. It'll run you to just keep grinding you down, but you got to be smart enough to back up and go like a different direction, because it will keep hitting that wall sometimes. Chat with the extractor. Okay, yes. What's going on here? It's schlepping again. Let's see. It's channeling now. Hopefully it's channeling like Ida or something, like the original software developer, that lady from France. Okay, perfect. It says it's receiving the init, but it's not. It only sends once per on the iframe load. Okay, it needs to pass its parent origin. Okay, it's making progress. At least it thinks it is. Step 2, remove the user vibes init listener and use the prop instead. Okay. Some of you are thinking, well, what does all that stuff mean? Well, you could slow it down. You could tell Claude Code, hey, explain this to me before you make these changes. And it will do that, but it will take you a while. That's fine. We just don't have time for that on these sessions. But after you mess with this for a while, this stuff will start to stick, and you'll have seen these scenarios before, and they'll be less intimidating. I can tell what it's doing. It created this parameter, and it's passing that object in to the component, into the form itself. And that's one way that it can communicate back, from the parent to the child and the child back to the parent, is through these parameters. Let's see how many lines of code we're dealing with now. What do you guys think? Let's see some guesses. How many lines of code do you think we have? Drop that in here. Run the script for lines of code check. All right, guys, guesses? Anyone want to guess? How many lines of code do you think we have right now that AI wrote for us? Come on, guys. Drop those guesses in. I'm not going to run it until I get some guesses. Okay, I try to keep these sessions to about an hour, so let's see how it does this time, and then if it doesn't figure this out, then we'll come back tomorrow. Keep working it. All right, here we go. Restart my dev server. Okay, hard reload out here. Clear my console logs. Okay, looking for anything new. Okay, submit the idea and fingers crossed. Oh, same problem. And I'm not getting any kind of change in the logs, so that's disappointing. So something's not right. Something's not refreshed. That's a clue. That's a major clue. Okay, 16,000 plus, Yemi says. Anybody else want to guess? No change, and I'm not seeing anything different in the logs. Are you sure that we don't have to reinstall or do something here? I restarted the server, and I'm not seeing the changes take place. 35,000, Esther says. Okay, all right, guys, drum roll. I have a script here called Count LOC, so let's go ahead and run it. 46,000 lines of code. Guess how many of those I wrote? Zero. 3D said 150K. Now hold on a second. Oh, what is this? All this stuff about cat. Let me hit a Control O here and read the results of that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's 46,000 lines of code. I have no clue why it's going on now and trying to run this thing. But anyway, 46,000 lines of code, and I wrote 0 of them. Okay. So it is working. Okay, right here it comes up and says it's right. It loads the widget iframe from localhost, your main app, not from the test site itself. The changes I made are to the extractor, which is on your main app. Now, wait a second. Now, hold on a second. Now, the test server runs on 3002. The actual main app runs on 3001, so that's correct. Okay, you need to restart the main app server. What? I don't buy that, but okay. I don't know why I would have to do that, but I just did it. Let me go ahead and restart this one for good measure. Okay, clear logs, hard reload. Okay, submit idea, no joy, same logs. Come on, man. Now I'm mad. Okay, look, you're wasting my time here. Same result, same screenshot, same logs, same restricted iframe and modal. I'm not convinced that we're picking up the new code, and you haven't been able to demonstrate to me that we are. I need you to use ultra thinking, and I need you to prove out that we are using the new code. If we need to reinstall something, then reinstall something. Explain to me how it is picking up the new code and why those log events are not showing up in the console. Focus on that. Yes, Dad. Here it goes. Watch it say, you're absolutely right. It's hurting now. How much you want to bet it says absolutely right? And it'll apologize. Here we go. You're absolutely right. Let me trace through this systematically. Come on, man. I think we're getting nerfed again. I hate to use that as an excuse, but look, I've seen it happen, guys. This model came out about a month ago and it was rocking, but now a lot of people are using it. And the AI models like Anthropic, which is the best, Claude Opus 4.5 is the best. But when the whole world is using it because it's the best, then they have to start cutting corners. So what they do is they don't reason as long. They send back the answer prematurely, and you end up wasting all this time. It's called nerfing. It's really frustrating. I wish we had a better option, but like, I wish they would just be honest with us and tell us, hey, we're under extreme load right now. You might want to try back later and get a better result. They'll never do that. I think we're getting nerfed here because it's acting dumb. Now, another thing I can do is restart the context window, but I'm not seeing it fill up, but like it's acting dumb. It's not acting like Opus 4.5. It's acting like Sonnet 4.5 or 4.2 and stuff. Okay, it's going to jump in there, delete that cache again, and then it's going to run the TSC check. Okay, it's giving me the steps here to do. I don't buy that. We shouldn't have to restart our main server, but I will do it. I'm restarting the test server 2. Come in here, clear logs, empty cache, hard reload. Okay, then I submit an idea again. Same issue, and see it right here. It's only given one waiting command here, and it's not responding. So something is not right. There's an orphaned iframe up here. Let me give it all of these logs. And the way you can do that is just say copy console down here, and it'll copy all the logs in. Okay, we give it one more shot here, guys, and we're going to call it a night. 3D's got to go to work, and I got to go to bed. I'm not young like you guys anymore. Okay, it says the new code is running. Current origin prop null. It's going to add a debug. All right, like I said, we're going to shut it down. I'm going to leave this And I'm just going to leave it like it is. And we'll read this tomorrow and we'll answer these questions. Here, just for good measure, let me restart the main app server, hard refresh the browser. We'll do this one more time just to get these logs in its hands, and then I'm going to leave it. Okay, here's the main server. Okay, there's the test server. Hard refresh. And clear the console while you're at it. Should be an extra log in here now. Let me go back up to the top. Okay, it's set up the message listener. Okay. And waiting for the parent origin before sending full screen messages. I'm going to give it this and then I'm going to leave it. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I see what you're saying, 3Ds. Restart the context or just come back tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're getting nerfed, guys. You know what that means? Is that they're about to drop another model. Because I think they monitor that stuff. And like they always got a new model that they can drop at any time. Like, you know, they've already tested it. It's been 3-4 weeks now. They're probably waiting for Gemini to like come out with, you know, something new. And then the day later, they drop their model and they crush them. So I wish they would just get on with it. I wish they would add more chips and more production, like more NVIDIA cards. But there's a limit to that. There's physics involved. There's heat and all kinds of crap and money in these data centers. Anyway, hey, appreciate you guys. Appreciate every one of you for hanging out. And we will come back at it tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern. That's New York time. And we'll go at it again. All right, guys. Hey, appreciate you. Love you all. And until then, be blessed.